Welcome. I am Kat. I'm so happy you are here. If we haven't met before, I'm the founder of Amplify Your Influence. I help service-based entrepreneurs and coaches and wellness professionals to attract and sign up more clients and help more people is ultimately how I spend my days. So in this video, I'm sharing, is creating content enough to attract clients? Do you ever spend ages creating a social media post or an email and not really get enough engagement? Or you send out an email and you hardly get anyone open it, and you've spent hours crafting it. Has anyone had that happen where you just think, what's the point? Is it actually worth all the effort to create this thing and not have enough people really open it and engage with it? It's so discouraging because you have poured your heart and soul into something and making it as good as you can and really adding as much value as you can. And when you don't get many likes or comments, or you don't get a high open rate on your emails, or you only get a couple of people reading your blogs, it can be a bit discouraging. And a lot of people ask me, is content still worth it? Is it still effective these days? Especially organic content, or do I need to just be paying for ads? Firstly, what I mean by content is really the pre-made content. So things that you write where people are reading it later, or you pre-recorded a video, or something where you've created a piece like an email, a blog post, a social media post, and someone is consuming it later. So that's really what I'm referring to as content. And content can be still helpful in attracting clients because it grabs attention quickly. It's good for awareness. If you think of the buyer's journey, there's different stages that the buyer goes through, from awareness, problem aware, solution aware, understanding how you're different. You know, it's very rare that someone will see a post and sign up with you, right? So it's good for keeping you top of mind. It's good for inspiring maybe one small action or educating people on what you do. So it's almost like drip fed little pieces of education, inspiration for people to go, that just opened up a new way of thinking, or that reminded me of something, or I understand now that's what she does, or that's really interesting what he said. So you can get someone to take action on something small, but typically content isn't good for converting someone. So if you think of it like a pipeline, and you've got all these stages that people go through before they actually sign up and pay you money, content is just like little bits to keep people top of mind and just to slowly build trust. It's almost like adding a little bit of money into a bank account, and then when you've got enough money, you spend it. All right, if you think of it kind of like that metaphor. So you can post something small every single day, but content's not designed to convert people into paying clients. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong, is they use social media to sell. Social media is not designed to sell and get people from here all the way to here, right? It's too fast. And so a lot of people try and fast track that process, and they actually put people off because they're selling too soon. And they're trying to get someone into a paid client from a social media post. There's not enough trust. There's not enough time. There's not enough trust in that bank account. If you imagine it like that, it's almost like trying to take a withdrawal before you've put enough into that account to draw the money from. So content keeps you fresh, keeps you top of mind. It's good for grabbing attention, but it's not good for maintaining attention. Like if you think about it, in order to trust people, you need time. And there's some research that talks about we actually need about 7 hours worth of time with someone before we trust them enough to make a significant buying decision. There was a whole study done on this that showed 7 hours is the average amount of time for someone to make a significant purchase. So if you're doing a social media post that takes 1 minute for someone to read, you have to do a heck of a lot of those in order to build up those 7 hours, build up that trust, and right through to that transaction right at the end. So if we think about let's say someone did take a minute, which often it's not even a minute, right? It's a little bit of a skim, next, next, next. So it might even be 20 seconds, 30 seconds, for example. But let's be generous and say for 1 minute, you would need to send 60 posts to get 1 hour of attention, and so you'd need to do that for 7 hours, so it's 420 posts. Now you might luck out and someone might sign up after the 37th post or the 79th post. Like, we don't know when people are going to sign up and where something's going to grab them. But how many people have you had actually transfer money into your bank account because they saw one of your posts? If you think about it, it doesn't really happen. How often has someone signed up for a strategy session or a discovery call in your calendar by reading one of your blogs? Like, if we're really honest with ourselves, how often does that happen? So if you think about content, written content as a social media post or a blog, it has its place and it's good, and we should still be doing it. I believe it's still important. But 89% of people watch video on social media a few times a week. And live presenting, it's not pre-made, all right? It's not well thought out and planned like a blog, an email, a social media post. It's live is live. So you get this, people are drawn to raw, real-time footage rather than this polished piece of content. And people watch longer when something is on like a live video or they're live in an event. Audience spend about 3 times as much time watching live stream videos as opposed to traditional pre-recorded videos. So that's pretty powerful statistic. Also, with live video, people are authentic and relatable because they have that access to you. It's not pre-scripted with multiple takes and getting it perfectly right. It's got this energy to it, right? It's a place where you can kind of be a little bit more personable with your audience. So if you, I like thinking of it like, let's say you stop on the street, you're out shopping and you're in a busy street, it's like maybe Pitt Street in Sydney, for example, and there's a busker. And you're walking along, you're going about your day, and you hear it, and the crowd's gathering, and you think, oh, I'm going to stop and I'm going to watch. Hey, he's pretty cool. Oh, I really like that performance, or she's really talented. You stop, you listen, you might chuck some money in, clap, and then walk off. But you might not stay there for that long, maybe a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, I'm not sure, depending how much you are enjoying it. But compare that experience to going to a concert and seeing one of your favorite bands. So going and booking a ticket, knowing the time, knowing the date, knowing that you're going to show up, you're going to be there for however long that time is, you're invested. You plan it, you get ready, and you look forward to it. So I like comparing that to, for example, just someone skimming and coming across your piece of content as opposed to booking in for an event with you. So when someone books in with an event, they register, they know the date and the time. It's behavior that's ingrained in them. It's like human behavior that we've had for decades of that experience, of paying for that experience, or we're paying with our time. We're turning up, it might be a free event, but it's scheduled in our calendar. So we value it more than if we're just kind of wandering by. There was a statistic where it was from a live stream statistic that showed that 79% of people believe that live video provides a more authentic interaction with the audience, and they prefer to watch someone on a live video rather than read a blog or a social media post. And I've found that people who are willing to show up on camera, their expertise increases. Your ability to speak to a camera and be confident and organize your knowledge and know what you're talking about, suddenly your positioning changes in people's minds. It shifts, it elevates, it does, because you are positioning yourself as a speaker. The person who is a speaker, because fear of public speaking takes a lot of people out. So first of all, you differentiate yourself from a lot of your competitors that aren't willing to do it. And it's a skill that anyone can learn. You can also do it from anywhere at any time. You don't need full-on studio, you don't need full-on recording equipment. And the thing when when you do live video or you run a live event as opposed to like a pre-recorded video or sending someone to some kind of evergreen webinar, for example, is that people give us their time because we're offering to educate them. Otherwise, how are we going to get someone's time? You think about the people in your life that you trust. The more time you spend with them, typically the more we trust someone, right? So we're not going to trust a stranger that we've just met on the street like we would a best friend that we hang out with, a few hours every week. So we need to get time with people to build trust. And we can't get an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours of someone's time on social media. It's not going to happen. So when you have an online event, it's a win-win. It's saying, I'm going to give you a whole heap of value, content that you can use straight away. I'm going to give you education for free, and in that time with you, I'm building trust. So that's the underlying principle. It can't be just content on its own, and if you try and do an event on its own without content, that doesn't work either. Basically, you're taking a whole bunch of strangers on social media, you're asking for their time, and whatever it takes to go from what we call cold to sold. So we can do it over a period of months or years through content, or we can do an event that actually converts them straight away. That's why full day events, you get that 7 hours. That's why I love full day events, because you get a full day with someone. You speed up the process super fast. You leverage that time. You're not taking months or years to build trust. You can do it in a day. Or you can do it through a few different webinars, or even a webinar that gets them to book into a call with you so that you can get to know them. So a few points here, 3 thoughts that I have on this. The first one with content is it's not what you do, but how you do it. So when it comes to content, it's not a case of just pumping out content. You might say, oh, I'm already doing content. It's not working. It's not just the fact that you're doing content, it's how you're doing your content. Is it compelling? Is it engaging? Is it inspiring? Do you know how to influence people? There's a real skill and craft to it. So just ticking the box that you're putting out 3 posts a week or whatever, 1 blog a week, whatever it is you're doing, it's not enough. It's how you're doing it. It's how skillful you are at doing it. I've had people book into my calendar from 1 post. I've had people book into my calendar from watching 1 Facebook Live video multiple times. I've had that happen many, many times. But often they've watched a few videos or read a few posts or maybe got a few of my emails because of this buyer's journey. Not everyone's ready to buy straight away. So it's not just the words you put on the page, but how you actually craft it. Are you speaking their language? Are you waking up their desires? Are you speaking emotionally? Emotions is one of the most important parts of great content. So you need to be able to move people emotionally with your message. The second thought I have is that content is really enough to attract clients consistently. It's really enough, but content plus presenting is the most potent combination to attract clients fast. Content doesn't convert. Content's not there to convert. Content is to attract, to engage, to be top of mind, all those things I mentioned. An event is to convert. That's why I call them a conversion event. When you run events, you not only get someone's attention, but you keep it, you maintain it, you build trust, you position yourself as an authority. You're able to overcome people's false beliefs. You're able to inspire action. You're able to get people emotional, feeling the energy that you just can't get from a social media post, right? There's so much power to doing both, and I think people are always looking for the one thing. What's the one thing that's going to get me clients? It's multiple things. It's multiple things. It's multi-dimensional, and it's a series of steps. But if I was to nail it down over the last 5 years as a business coach, what has been the things that's helped me the most? It's these 2 things combined: compelling content and conversion events. When you get it right, because you need the content to support the event, And then that mix is a powerful, super powerful combination. I mean, you can't do an event, 5 days a week, but you can post content 5 days a week. At an event, you can't be doing it all the time. It's more exclusive. So you've got like content in between big event, content in between big event. It's a real winning strategy, but so few people are actually willing to do it because it takes work. It's not the easy way. Everyone's looking for the quick way, the fast way, the get rich quick scheme. It's not the easiest way to do it, and I'm really transparent about it. It does take work, but it's one of those things, if you develop those skills, you never have to worry about money again because you just keep getting better and better and better at the skills. You know that you can go anywhere in the world and get clients and make money. And when you get it right, you've got an asset. You don't have to keep creating over and over and over endless posts. You can have a signature event and you just get better and better and better at it. You craft it. It becomes like a book. It becomes like an asset. Now, some people say to me, how do you do a whole day online? And I never, ever thought that I could do a whole workshop online. Like, it's pretty, like, when you think about it, imagine a couple of years ago, someone telling us, you're going to do a whole workshop online. Like, it wasn't really a thing. But fortunately, there's been some real blessings that have come with the pandemic. And one of them being, we've realized how super accessible it is, how easy it is, how doable it is. And I've been running online full-day workshops for over a year now, and they are incredible. I've been able to have people from other states, other cities, other countries, which I never would have been able to do with in-person events. I still love the energy of in-person, but doing it online, I've done 6-day courses online, full days, like 10-hour days for 6 days in a row, and it's been amazing. You have to do little dance parties and stretch breaks and connection and breakout rooms and activities and actual doing, like taking action, not just sitting and learning. No one wants to do that for, like 8 hours. But if you do them well, they are incredibly powerful. You get connection with other people, really up close and personal, that you can't get in a room of people. Like the coaching course that I crew for, when you're coaching with 150 people in the room with you, it gets very loud. It's not very intimate. It's hard to have a lot of rapport. But when you do it in a breakout room where you're both at home and it's quiet, it's incredible. There's also a real nice intimacy in the experience. So one-day events to me are one of my favorite ways to build my business because you can give so much value, you can really help people, and then the people who are right fit for, you've got the trust, and it's so easy. I say it's easy. It does, of course it takes work, but it's not that constant work of like scratching your head, not knowing what's working. It's a rock solid strategy that you can rely on. You've just got to be willing to commit to learning how to do it. And when I sat in a conference many years ago and I just sat back and watched all the speakers and thought, I want to be one of those speakers. I want to be on stage. I'm sick of going to conference after conference after conference, watching people on stage thinking, I wish that was me, and not actually building the skill. Like if you're not willing to learn the skill, you'll never be able to, if you don't overcome that fear, you're always going to have to be churning out constant marketing all the time. It almost takes away this hours and hours of having to create endless content when you can just commit to doing more presentations, live video, live events. So if you would like to know how to do this, if you want to learn how, these skills, how to create really compelling content, how to run a profitable conversion event, and also how to set up a client attraction machine, which is basically the system that makes it super easy for you, so it's not really manual and old school. It's all automated and seamless. And if you want me to show you how to do it, I am sharing it all for free in my one-day event coming up. It is loads of value. We're going to be taking a lot of action. You'll walk away with a whole formula where I really go deep into it. So it's not just the the what to do, but it's actually how to do it. So I teach the how and not just the what. And if you'd like to join us, I'm going to put the link in the comments now. I'll just pop that in there. It's great to have you here. Hi, Trish. Thanks for being here. Trish was just in my private inner circle call as well after a big day of being online. So well done, Trish. You're a legend. Thank you. I appreciate you. So I'm just going to pop that link in the chat box. So it's called How to Attract a Steady Stream of New Clients. It's happening on Saturday the 15th of May. And I would love to see you there. There's free tickets available. They will sell out because it's free, so they're not going to sell out, but they will go because I'm capping the numbers to keep it nice and personalized and intimate. So if you want to take a day to actually get things done in your business, not just learn information, but actually work on your business, not just in your business, but work on your business, knowing that you'll move forward in your business. And I mean, you've probably seen lots of different little videos and webinars and YouTube clips. It's not just more and more information, it's actually getting it done. Because let's face it, it's impossible to just do it after just listening to a video. There's way more to it. So I want to go deeper with you, and I also want to help you actually take the action. So if you'd like to join us, click on the link, and until next time, I will love you and leave you. Keep showing up, keep sharing your brilliance with the world, and I want you to really sit with that idea that anyone can learn these skills. Anyone can get on camera and share their message with the world. You don't need to have any type of qualifications. You don't need to be an extrovert. You don't need to be techie, none of that. Like, I've got none of that. I just was willing to show up and just share something that would be helpful for people. And that's all you need is a willing heart to do it, a willingness to help people and kind of get over yourself. Let's be honest. It's not about you. It's about a message that you have to share with the world. So the world needs you. Thanks for being here. Always a pleasure. I show up here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. In the chat box, let me know, in the comments, let me know what you got out of this video tonight. What was something that you got out of it? What was an action that you could take, or something that got you thinking? Just pop it in the comments there. Hi Lorella, great to have you here. Yes, I've seen your registration come through, so it'd be so awesome to have you there. If you're watching the replay, just give me a hashtag replay and let me know. What was your favorite tip about what I shared tonight? If there's anything else that you would like me to cover in these sessions, if there's particular things, please reach out, just private message me and let me know. Until next time, love you guys. Thanks for being here. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.